elimination race. That's Sunday on NBCSN. Who will join Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick in the round of 8 coverage for that race at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Of course, joining us in the booth, part of the race telecast will be Dale Earnhardt Jr. giving us his insight. Mike Massaro.
Well, Rick, earlier we reported that Carl Edwards was experiencing a bit of a vibration over the course of that first run. They came in and changed wheels, but apparently they're still pretty concerned about that vibration. In between runs, they've changed the drive shaft. And of course, that vibration occurred during a single car run. So now what they want to do is they want to go out there in the draft and see if the vibration continues in the draft. If so, they're contemplating changing a rear gear. They don't want to change that gear until they know what they've got in the draft.
Why is that important to figure that out now? They're only 24 points above the cut line. And with them being in a position where they could advance into the round of 8, they don't want to have any issues like we saw with Denny Hamlin last week.
Well, the worst thing a team could do is we can talk about Talladega and the unknowns and being dependent on other cars and the accidents. Well, come down here and have a mechanical failure in your run has nothing to do with any of that. That is just basically a bad situation for a race team to be in. So mechanically, they need to make sure this car is sound.
Where's Carl Edwards on the chase grid? And Carl Edwards still in the round of 12 because there's only 2 drivers that have advanced to the round of 8 with their wins, Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick. So the question is, how will those 2 race at this race? Will Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick race differently? Well, we look back to the past, guys that were safe and how they raced.
I think they race for the win. I think anytime you're out on the racetrack, you have a chance to win. That's what we're going to try to do. You see right here, number 22, Joey Logano moved up to block Kevin Harvick, which helped his teammate Brad Keselowski win that race. And we heard later that year, we heard Kevin Harvick in the press conference for Homestead talk about displeasure about that move. But I think you just go to try to win the race.
That's exactly what Joey Logano did last year. He won every race in this round, the round of 12. Won the race, even though he was safe, even though he knew he was advancing into the round of 8. As you mentioned, the best way to protect is to go out and win.
Well, the ultimate goal is to win. It doesn't matter what your situation is. I mean, obviously, if you're Martin Truex Jr., your goal is to do whatever you have to do to move into the round of 8, period. I get it. But the reason you race is for the opportunity to win. And I think in this format, I think so many fans have looked and say, well, he has no reason to win. He has a huge reason to win. That trophy, to say you won that race is absolutely huge. I think there could be another side of it, though. Let's say if you're Kevin Harvick and you would rather you think you can beat Denny Hamlin in the round of 8 easier than you can Matt Kenseth. I'm just making names up. And you see Denny Hamlin up there winning. If you go win that race, you maybe keep him from advancing. So I think there's some strategy that can be played, but ultimately it's about winning a race, and that's a cherished thing.
And very difficult to do. Kevin Harvick making his way back out onto the track. He's the only one of the chasers that's in the top 10 as far as top speeds go for Talladega.